Hi, I'm Kurt Vinson, General Manager and Editor of the Bladen Journal. Welcome to the Saturday Show. My guest this week is Patty Evers. She's Athletics Director and Girls Varsity Basketball Coach at East Bladen High School. Welcome, Coach. I appreciate you coming.
Thank you for having me.
First off, the season's underway. At the time we're taping this, that's 7 games into the season. Y'all are 7-0. And I'm sure that there are some big expectations for this year after 2 straight years of going to the state title game.
Yeah, of course, every year we try to set goals for ourselves, and it would be anything less than, trying to get back to the state championship game, and a lot of expectations at the school, in the community, around the county, and we're going to do our best.
Right. Now, I think a lot of those expectations are based around the fact that you have your starting 5 back.
Oh, of course. You've got Courtney Melvin in the paint. She's signed to go to East Carolina. Jasmine Kemp, who is undecided at this moment, who is our second leading scorer and rebounder. She's our point guard and pretty much runs the show. And then you got Janet Hatcher and Naisha Murchison, who are 2 and 3 guards, doing an outstanding job getting CJ the ball this year. And then Janae Johnson is the other starter coming back, who has just stepped into a huge role this year and has given us that third spark in the scoring column.
All right. Now, something other than your starting 5, you've always had a good set of role players that can step in and give you some help every so often.
Oh, definitely. We've had some great senior leaders in the past who have been those role players, and this year we've got some younger girls with a couple of seniors that we added to the team. And if you don't have those role players on your team, that's been a problem in the state championship game every time we've been there. You've got your 2 Division I ball players, but you've got to have those role players to count on to go along with them.
Right. Now, next week you're going to be involved in a basketball tournament down in Wilmington, the Time Warner Holiday Classic. It's got some pretty good competition down there. And
that's why we're there. We want to play the 4A schools, and there are some good 3A, Havelock is a 3A Eastern Regional runner-up from last year, and they're competing in the tournament as well, and we just want to see some good competition and do our best.
Right. Now, I know the Wilmington teams will be present at that, but the name that stands out, I guess, is Southview.
Oh, of course. Southview's always, they've had a strong program for several years, and a couple years ago we played Southview down in a Christmas tournament and lost to them, and we played them close. And that's the same year that they went and won the state championship.
Right,
so.
and they've always been a good 4A school, especially
Yes.
lately. Now, the Waccamaw Conference has opened, or is opening, getting underway. How good is the conference this year, you think?
Well, it's hard to tell. You don't want to compare one team to another team in terms of how much they beat them by. But North Brunswick is probably going to be very athletic, very quick. West Brunswick lost people. South Brunswick did as well. West Bladen, young group coming in this year. She's got several freshmen, and I look for them to be strong in a few years.
And a new coach.
Yeah, Coach Stevens does an outstanding job over there. So we look to be competitive as long as everybody else in the conference.
Can't take a night off in the Waccamaw Conference.
You can't take a practice off. You can't, and that's what we're trying to tell our girls this year. You can't take a practice off. You can't take a play off, and you definitely can't take a game off.
And not only are the other teams going to be competitive and good, but there's a bullseye on one team.
Well, definitely, and Coach Fisher and I talked about that this morning. We've got the target on our back, and he's, East Bladen football team's been very successful, and they've been like that year after year, and now here we are, and everybody's coming for us.
Right. Now, something you probably don't want to talk too much about, 300 wins.
Yeah.
It's on the horizon. As we are speaking right now, it's something like 14 games away. What are your thoughts on that, and how important is it to you?
Well, that was my first goal. As a coach coming in, I had met a coach over at West Brunswick at the time, and I walked in her office as my first year coaching, and I didn't have a goal at that time. So I saw this plaque on the wall, and it said 300 wins. I said, goodness, that's a great milestone. And she said, yeah, she said, I got that such and such. So that was my goal. And, ever since I've been coaching, I wanted to get 300 wins, and well, just recently with the success of our basketball program, has it been, hey, I want to win a state championship.
Right.
So I hadn't really, it'll be nice to get, and, I've had a lot of good players come through my program, even when I was at Tar Heel. And if it wasn't for my players, I wouldn't have that.
So team concept is
Oh,
far more
definitely.
important than personal.
Oh,
ability.
yeah, that, just to win a state championship.
Right.
It's nice getting there. Not many coaches even get to play in one.
Right.
And we've been fortunate to play in three, and, we want to win it. So,
Right. Well, hopefully this is the year.
I hope so.
Now, this is also your first semester as the school's athletics director. How's that going, and how have things changed because of that?
I'm still the same person that I always was, in terms of teaching and coaching. It has actually probably helped the stress level for basketball because it keeps me busy. And the girls see that and they realize that. And all the teachers and staff and the principals and administration, they've been very helpful in helping me make that adjustment. Everybody's willing to help. And
Right.
I just think it's just taking the stress from basketball away. And I have goals with that too, and we just want to get the school going in a good direction, and I think it's there.
Have your assistant coaches been stepping up?
Oh, absolutely. Even Coach Matt, Coach McMillan with the JV boys, Coach Hill who's come in this year, of course Coach Fisher and Coach Russell. They're like fathers to me, and Megan Kirby, who played for me at Tar Heel, took over the JV girls program this year. And Coach West, who's been with me since I've been at East Bladen for the past 10 years, everybody's always willing to help. And,
Right.
It's like that team effort. If you don't have that, then, it's hard to be successful.
Now, as far as your role as athletics director, there have been some big events to come along this first semester already. I know with the Lennon Fisher ceremony.
Yeah, and it's been a challenge.
Right.
But we got through it, and we worked on that for about a month. And our booster club is very active. They've done a good job helping me, again, make the adjustment and set up for the naming of Fisher Stadium. And we've got a few other things planned down the road. We're going to have an alumni basketball game in March or April. And just some good things going on at East Bladen right now.
Good. Well, we look forward to all those. Coach, we want to thank you for joining us here on the Saturday show, and we sure look forward to seeing your team at the state championship again this year.
Well, we'll try.
That's all you can do. Thank you very much for joining us this week. You all have a good week.